But anyway, we sold the boat to a boat shed there, and took off down to Sydney. And this bloke that I was with, he was a real go-getter, put up a tremendous tail and woe and that. But I didn't like that part of the game at all. I didn't like to...
Con man.
To make like you was bloody, you know, destitute and hungry and all that tripe.
Yeah.
I was willing to work for what I got. Anyway, we got a job from a station owner up on the Lachlan at Condobolin. So we went up there. I went up as a carpenter, which I was somewhat of a carpenter, and he went up as a blacksmith and wheelwright. And he said when we got there, he said, now what I've got to do with this bloody wheel? He said, how am I going to get the tyre off? to do the job properly, we'd have to get the tyre off and cut it in half and take a certain amount out of it and then re-weld it.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't know how to weld it. He was no more a blacksmith than my foot was. Anyway, they transferred him to the kitchen garden. Oh God, I got a pick and shovel job.
And is that the fellow you went on the bicycle with?
Yeah. We got there by train, but we left on push bikes. There was an old bloke working there, he had a push bike and he sold it to my mate. And I sent home for mine, they put it on the train and sent it up to me. And we set off then. His idea was to go to Thursday Island, that's where we was heading for.
A push
He
bike.
said, up there, you know, he said, all the niggas do the work, all you got to do is sit around and tell the buggers what to do. So I joined in with that, all right. But we never got to Thursday Island. We got as far as Maryborough on the bikes, and we couldn't see any prospects of going any further by bike. So we sold the bikes and used the money to buy a passage on an old coastal boat going to Townsville, and that's where we finished up. When we got to Townsville, we found there was 200 unemployed camped in the old gasworks. So that was that. And this mate of mine, he went round the waterfront seeing what he could catch. He got 5 2-bobs off one ship he was on, and he put it in his pocket, and on the way down from the ship to where I was waiting for him, the money fell out of his pocket. And right behind him come another bloke that picked them up, and he stuck to them. He said, how do I know they're yours? He said, they're bloody well mine, I found them. So we didn't argue the toss with him. So we signed on there as trimmers. That means you're down in the bunkers where the coal is.
On a ship that...
And you've got to shovel it from there down a thing like a well that leads down into the stokehold where the boilers are and the fires. Well, the coal was pretty short supplied. She'd been using the coal all the way from America, and it had gone pretty low. So you have to wheel it up a narrow passage. So that's the ship side there, and the ribs of the ship are about that deep. They're sticking out about that much. Well, if you wasn't careful, you'd swing around, you'd knock your knuckles on those things.
Yeah.
Well, that's what my mate did, knocked all the bloody skin off his knuckles, and he got fed up with the job. So as soon as we got to Brisbane, he hooked it. But I'd had enough of this going to Thursday Island. I thought, the sooner I get back to Sydney, the better. So I stayed with the lousy ship, and we were going to get 6pence a month for our efforts on that boat. When I got to Sydney, I was only worth 3 pennies. 3pence. I never got that.
How long does it take?